Hello, welcome. My name is Gabriel, and this week I am reading The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. Okay, so Donna Tartt is an author who has the potential to be one of my favorites because she wrote one of my all-time favorites, The Secret History, and she also wrote The Goldfinch. And this is the book which came out in between those two, which nobody talks about. Nobody on BookTube, nobody in the real world. And that's strange to me because the other two are hugely successful, of course. The Secret History is a cult classic. The Goldfinch won a Pulitzer. It's got a movie. It's a big deal. But it seems like nobody has read this, and if they have, they usually didn't like it. So I want to figure out what's wrong with it. And I'm going to take you guys with me on that journey as I try and read this throughout this week, probably the next week, maybe even the week after that. I'm so busy. I think part of the reason that nobody reads this book is because the cover sucks. Not to call it out, but The Goldfinch and The Secret History both have like iconic covers, and this one's just kind of tacky. I've already read the prologue and it's really good, so I'm hoping that it stays like that. This feels like it's going to be a lot sadder than the other two. The other two are sad in their own ways, of course, but they're also very like snarky about it, and this one seems more just like, ooh. I already like the writing of this one 10 times more than The Goldfinch because it is third-person perspective, and so Donna Tartt is just letting her authorial voice take free reign. She's not trying to confine herself within some character she's invented, and that's where she shines. That's why The Secret History is one of my absolute favorites, because she was able to be as literary and witty and pretentious as she wanted to be. That's all my thoughts for now. I'll update you guys when I feel like it. Bye. Alright, y'all, we're back. I realized I didn't even tell you what this book is about. So, this book is about a family living in Alexandria, Mississippi, 12 years after the murder of their 9-year-old son, Robin. The back of the book says it's going to focus on his youngest sister, Harriet, who takes it upon herself to solve his murder. I'm about 50 pages into this, and I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. This was a really slow section. It's just getting everything set up, but I do feel like I have a really clear sense of this family, so it was good at establishing characters and atmosphere. I'm starting to get a sense of why some people might not like this book as much as her others, because it does have a few elements that are much more off-putting. For example, the good old Mississippi racism. So this book is like a period piece. It's set in the 60s, I think, and so obviously it's going to have some racism and some outdated terminology just in order to remain honest and truthful to the time period. However, there is quite a bit of casual racism from the family members, which again is expected and necessary for establishing the time period, but it just happens like so much. And this story clearly isn't about racism, it's about this little boy's murder, and I'm just not sure that it's ever going to like address or confront that racism in any meaningful way. And I think I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it being used as like a backdrop just to set like atmosphere. So that's just where a little bit of my discomfort is coming from right off the bat. There's a mailman. Is he bringing my parking pass? It's a brand new day. I tried to update you last night, but it was like 1 a.m. and nothing coming out of my mouth was coherent. I only read about 30 more pages of this after our last update. I'm gonna read a little bit more this morning, but then I have to go to campus to print something out at the library. I'll bring you with me. And then later I'm going to check out some bookstores downtown with a couple friends, and you're all coming along with me. I'm back. A couple things. Number one, the library is closed, so I've gotten to stay for like an extra hour and keep reading. And number two, I don't know what's going on. My reading comprehension is just gone right now, and I don't know if it's the writing or if it's just me being stupid, but like, I just read maybe 20 pages and I did not understand a single word. I did not get it. I think that the prose is just really dense. It doesn't all come together in my mind. It doesn't click. That's all for now. Okay, y'all. So my afternoon plans turned into all-day plans, and it is now 11 p.m. I haven't read really that much today, but I have a couple hours before I really need to go to sleep, so I'm gonna stay up for a while and try to update you before I go to bed. Day 3. Alright, I am about 200 pages into this, and it's really starting to pick up. Harriet has now set herself on this mission to solve her brother's murder, and the last few pages have been her wandering around the town, getting to know lots of new characters. I'm getting a great feel for the ensemble that's going to be present in this book. The racism has intensified to an extent, although it feels very intentional and very self-aware. And it's getting to a point where I think it is going to be discussed pretty heavily, and I am excited to see how that is handled. As far as the tone and just like similarities to other stories, this feels very like Great Expectations meets To Kill a Mockingbird. Nobody ever talks about Donna Tartt without comparing her to Dickens, but like the influence is very present in all of her books. Like she is very much going for that. Those are all my thoughts for now. The library is open today. You're gonna get some fun shots of that. See you later. Hey guys, it's 10 p.m. I'm going to bed. I haven't made any more progress on The Little Friend, but I didn't tell you that this week I have also been reading Are Prisons Obsolete by Angela Davis. I am 80% of the way through that. You'll hear me talk more about it in my August wrap-up. So even though I didn't make any more progress on the book that I probably should be focusing on for this video, I did get some good, productive reading done tonight. Hi. I didn't update you at all yesterday, and I barely got any reading done today, but yesterday I read like 20 pages of The Little Friend, but I did finish Are Prisons Obsolete by Angela Davis. I got some good thoughts written down about that, which will be in my August wrap-up, coming probably before this video airs. Airs, like I'm on TV. I have a lot of homework, so bye. It's 11 p.m. I read nothing today. Goodbye. I've only read 5 pages today, but I did film and post a new video, so that's my excuse. I don't know how to justify the 5 hours I spent on Twitter. Hi gang, long time no see. It's been, I don't even know how many days. I've kind of been reading, and I'm here on campus in a practice room, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to film in a new location. I have to wear the mask whenever I'm on campus, so I'm singing like la, but with this. So I have some positive thoughts and some negative thoughts about The Little Friend. The narration is third person, but it adjusts for each character that we're focusing on. So it like assumes the personality of each individual character, which I think is really cool. Negatively, I haven't been doing a lot of reading, kind of just because I don't want to. It's, the last 100 pages or so have been focusing on this family named the Ratliffs, who I know are going to be important down the line, but I just don't really care about them. And I would rather focus on Harriet and the actual story, because, I don't know, we've just taken a big break from the main plot, which is like the murder mystery. And I just want to get back to that, which I know we will soon. It's not holding my attention. I'm back. I've only read about 6 more pages, but those pages helped me pinpoint some discomfort that I have been having. So, like I said, the narrator assumes the personality of every individual character that it is describing, and that is really cool, but as I have also mentioned, these characters hold a lot of really harmful ideals, and so when the narrator assumes their personality, the text becomes infiltrated with a lot of racism and ableism and other really hurtful ideologies. And because the narrator has that character's point of view, those harmful beliefs are presented without criticism, and they're not confronted. And I mentioned earlier, there is still a self-awareness to the narration. Like, Donna Tartt clearly does not hold these harmful beliefs herself. But what happens is, when you present harmful ideas in a text and don't confront them, then people who know that racism and ableism are bad are going to read them and they'll be uncomfortable. So the purpose of including them then becomes just to make the reader uncomfortable, which is fine. But then, since those ideas are not confronted or contested in any meaningful way, if a reader came along who was a racist or an ableist, they will see those ideas in this text completely unchallenged. So even though Donna Tartt is clearly not like malicious and this book is not trying to be hurtful, I do think that presenting those ideas without confronting them is harmful in its own way. I'm only about halfway through the book though, so this whole rant could be for nothing. She could completely change things around and make up for it. So, Miss Tartt, I am rooting for you. I'm also really bored, guys. I'm getting to the point that I was at with The Goldfinch, where like, nothing's wrong with it. It's not bad, but I'm just bored. I'm just reading the writing and I'm like, none of this is bad writing. It's fine, but I don't care. Hi, I haven't updated you in days because I haven't read in days, but today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, which means that I will have officially been reading this book for 2 weeks. So, I have a lot of work that I need to do today, but I am also going to avoid that work and read, maybe.
See, the problem is I keep lying to myself. I keep turning on the camera and doing a cute little update and saying, hey guys, I'm gonna read so much today, and then I don't. It's 9 p.m. right now, and I've read nothing.
Okay, I want to be real with y'all. I'm not liking this. I got to the point yesterday that I got to with The Goldfinch where I was just reading the words and I just had to think to myself, am I enjoying what I'm reading? And the answer is no. I'm going to finish this because I have already got quite a bit of footage for this vlog and I really need to get to the end of it to see what she's doing because I'm not appreciating what she has written so far. I'm not appreciating the picture that she's painted of this town or of these people. Something should have happened at this point to make it clear to the reader that what these characters are saying is wrong. And that hasn't happened yet. And maybe that is checked later in the book, but we're 300 pages in now and it hasn't been, and it's really uncomfortable and really unpleasant. The same goes for the disabled character. I mentioned that this book has a lot of ableism, and that is true. There is a young boy with a learning disability who every single character reacts to with absolute revulsion and disgust, and they call him a monster, and he calls himself a monster. And the way that his dialogue is written is in this like grumbly Frankenstein voice, and it's really frustrating to read a book which has such an uncharitable, unempathetic view of marginalized people. And nothing has happened in the text to say that Donna Tartt condones these attitudes, but also nothing has happened to say that she condemns them, and it should have at this point. I can already tell this book is not going to rate very highly unless it completely changes around real quick. I've also decided that I'm no longer going to be reading just this at the moment. I'm going to pick something else up just so that when I need a break from this, I can keep reading and I don't just stop reading entirely because I'm sick of it. But wow, guys, I am really not enjoying this. I haven't updated you in over a week. It's been crazy. I also have barely read anything in the last week. I got it in my head that I'm hating this book, but I read a couple pages yesterday and I actually started enjoying it again. So I'm just gonna get back into the swing of things. I'm gonna push through these last 300 pages, hopefully all in this week, and then it'll be over with and I can get this video out for you. That's all. So it's been about 100 pages since I last updated you, and I wanted to film this because I just got to the end of a really long chapter, and the end of this chapter had this big paragraph full of foreshadowing talking about basically how the story is about to get really exciting and things are just changing completely. And I got to the end of this section and I thought to myself, do I care? And the answer is no. Even though I know something big and exciting is about to happen, I do not care what happens next to these characters. That is my update. That's how I'm feeling at page 400. So here's where I'm at. I don't like The Little Friend. I don't like what I'm reading and I don't really want to finish it. I am having trouble caring about it. And I thought that school might just be really stressful and I just couldn't focus on anything right now. But last night, I actually sat down and started a new book. I started reading If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin, and it is lovely. I read 60 pages in one sitting, and that is more than I have read in a single day in weeks. And so it just proved to me, I'm not in a reading slump. I just really do not like The Little Friend. And I'm in this weird position right now where I've dedicated a lot of time to this video and I really want to finish it. Not only for you guys, but for me. I started something and I want to see it through, and I actually really like how this video is shaping up to be. I also want to give a shout out to all of you because I just hit 100 subscribers, and I know that in the world of YouTube, that's not really a lot, but it means so much to me that there are people out in the bookish community who are enjoying my videos, and that my content isn't just like limited to my friends and family and my own little social media circles. So thank you guys for tuning in. I want to keep making fun videos. I'm not having fun with this one. I'm in the practice room again. I want to keep like adding in little snippets of me as I learn piano. I started learning piano from scratch earlier this year, and I think it'd be fun just to do little progress shots in my vlogs. So who knows what is gonna happen with the rest of life. I haven't filmed and uploaded a video to my channel in 2 weeks, and I honestly don't see myself being able to sit down and film something like start to finish for a while. So this vlog is gonna be the only content I release for a little bit. So I really want to finish this just so I can get something on my channel. Like I don't want to go an entire month without uploading anything. I'm rambling now. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna practice. Oh wow, it's already wrong. Already. Hello everybody, I am outside in the open air for a final update. It has been, I want to say like a week and a half since our last official update on The Little Friend, and I think you know what announcement is coming. I have decided to DNF this book. I will not be finishing it because I'm not enjoying it. I went back and forth on whether I should finish it or not because of course I put a lot of time into this video. I want to get something up on my channel, and I figured that the best way to get something out for you guys is just to sit down and say why I wasn't enjoying the book. So basically, I read about 410 pages of this book, and I'm going to explain to you what happened in those pages. Well, not what happened, I'm not going to spoil the plot, but I'm going to explain like what the big 4 reasons were that I wasn't enjoying it and why I wanted to put it down so that I could move on to other books. So number 1 is the prose. So Donna Tartt's writing is always very like lengthy and pretty drawn out, but it's never excessive, I feel. But this book really is. It just drags on, and I really feel like you could cut more than half of it and the story would be perfectly intact. Number 2 is the plot. So I was really excited about the murder mystery element of this book. I thought that we were going to be following Harriet, chasing tons of different clues and uncovering her brother's murder. I thought that's what was going to be the focus of this story, but that got abandoned really quickly. The story wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what was marketed to me, I guess, and so I just completely lost interest in what the story was becoming. My number 3 thing is the characters. So I actually think that the characters are really well developed to an extent, because I think that they're very... A squirrel just knocked like a whole branch down from that tree. The squirrels here are evil. No, they're not. They're actually really sweet. They're just... They don't fear God or men. So the characters, they feel really clearly outlined as people. Their personalities are crystal clear. However, because the plot kind of went nowhere and we've just been in this really muddy middle ground for the last 300 pages, I feel like they haven't had anything to do, and so now I don't care about them. I updated you guys a while ago and I was like, something really exciting is about to happen, I can tell, and it turned out to be a major character death, and I read that death and I did not care at all.
And that's a really big problem. Like, something that dramatically changes the story in that way should elicit a reaction from me, but the story was just so muddy for so long that by the time we got to the end, when all the exciting stuff should be happening, I just couldn't care less. And then number 4, this is the one that I have been hammering on this whole video, and I'm gonna say it again. When you put so much racism in your book and you do nothing to show the reader that it is wrong, that is harmful in its own way, even if you as the writer don't hold those beliefs yourself. There are some things that the book does well. I've talked a lot about the self-awareness of the narration, and I think that's true. Whenever something racist is happening in the book, it's very clearly like uncomfortable, like Donna Tartt is uncomfortable with it, you're supposed to be uncomfortable with it, but she doesn't give us much to do with that discomfort. It's not a very productive feeling. It was really interesting as a reader to see Harriet witness racism and experience discomfort, but she, as a child, just doesn't have any agency or any desire even to change what's happening. And I think that's the biggest problem with this book for me. I'm just not very interested in reading stories about racism from white perspectives. You know, these characters don't have the vocabulary or the lived experiences or really the motivation to discuss racism with any nuance. So while the book clearly isn't for racism, it throws a lot at you, and it just leaves you in this really muddy, uncomfortable place that I wasn't enjoying. So yes, that is it. Those are my big 4 reasons for why I am not going to be finishing The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. Because I'm not finishing it, I'm not going to give it a star rating for you guys, but on Goodreads I did give it 2 stars because I'm petty and I didn't like one bit of it. Really, I wanted to finish this book. I clearly gave it a good effort. I also thought that maybe I could finish this book if I just read other stuff alongside it, but then I just completely abandoned this one, and I've read 4 books since I started doing that, so clearly I'm not going back to it. And finally, today is the 1 month mark since I've uploaded a video, and I'm getting it out, I'm finishing it now. I'm sorry this reading vlog was a bit of a failed experiment, but I still think the video that I've put together is kind of fun, so I'm gonna put it out there in the world anyways. If you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notifications whenever I upload, because I do not have a consistent schedule and you do not know when a video could be coming. It could be any day now, and that's a threat. Go ahead and comment your thoughts on the book or this video. You can try to bully me into finishing it, but I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. If this is one of your favorite books, I can absolutely see why you like it. There's just so much happening in my life that I do not have the time to push through it and really get to a point with it where I could enjoy it. But no shame to you if this is your favorite book or one of your favorites. I don't know how to end this. See you guys next time.